The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now your hosts, Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark.
Welcome to the show, folks. It's just Nico today. Paige is out doing some interesting educational work on medicine and astrology, so it should be a real interesting weekend for her, and she's going to be back next week. So you're stuck with me today. And Nico DeHaan here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. The number here is 877-927-6648. I'd like to remind you to pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I got issue 14 out right now, and I just want to cover a couple of things in it so get the program started. One of the things was, of course, I had problems breathing when I went back to jiu-jitsu because of the anesthesia, and I kind of explained what was going on there, and I did my breathing exercises, and, fantastic, worked like great. So this week I had no problems whatsoever. The other thing is that I got that in the newsletter here, preventing lung problems after surgery and how to get around that whole thing. There's also an article here about gallstone and a primal diet, and it shows you the difference between having like a low-carb mentality and gallstones and what happens. And, it's really cutting out the fat because the thing is that people think that there's a correlation between taking high fat and the gallstones when it's actually not true. So that's a good article. Another one is skin cancer in the sun. Talked about this a lot of times. I've also got some great links in there to Aubrey Organics and another company, Welda, that so you can find the cosmetics and the kind of things that really are not detrimental to your health. And the sun is actually very good for you. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on in the program to get you up to speed on how many great things that the sun can do for you. There's a vaccine creator who she was working for Gardasil for many years, and she confessed to clear her conscience, she said afterwards, and the interview is in here, and really talks about really the HPV vaccine and then other vaccines, and I think that's an important thing to do. And there's a whole article in here on page 7 about different vaccines and what the side effects may be to those. Also, what really causes aging, and what does dietary restriction really have to do with increasing your lifespan? I think that's a very interesting topic. Also, manufacturers are replacing the BPA in their plastics because they've gotten so much flack from, from us, the consumers, about that. And, they're really replacing it with another problem thing. So that's in here, too. And then there's evidence of GMO harm in a pig study. Real important to really find out what GMOs, genetically modified foods, have to do with that. And there's a whole list of companies that Monsanto owns that you might be finding interesting. Also, some great recipes for breakfast. I put in smoked salmon and scrambled eggs, some spinach, bacon, and tomato breakfast, things like that. And then an article, of course, on why exercise is good for you. Right now, we have on our program Joy, that's from Clearwater, and I think I'll bring her on the show, and let's get the party started. Hi, Joy.
That was Joyce. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I was just wondering, have you ever heard of PRP therapy?
PRP therapy, which
platelet-rich plasma.
I haven't. No, I haven't really. It's these platelets are enriched with what? The concentration of some chemicals, or is it a natural thing?
No. What it is I got it done for my hip, and I was ready to have hip replacement.
Okay.
Basically, what it is they draw your blood.
Okay.
And they put it in a centrifuge,
mm-hmm.
and they spin it.
Okay.
And they separate the plasma and the platelets.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is inject the platelets into the area that's the hip or the knee or anything like that.
So they can grow these platelets.
So they grow the cartilage back.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And it was very, very successful. I was ready to go in the hospital for hip replacement.
Wow.
And I just thought I wanted to share it with you.
Yeah, Joy, that's a great thing because a lot of people are going through hip and knee replacements. I mean, it's almost an epidemic in our society right now. Mm-hmm. And that would be a great alternative, I would think, to get your whole body to respond and repair those areas. And I think that's really where the future of modern medicine is.
Yeah, I tried steroid shots, mm-hmm. and I tried Flexin, and I tried acupuncture, and nothing worked. And then I finally decided I would try this.
Mm-hmm. How extensive was that surgery?
It was $300 a shot. I got it done locally in
mm-hmm.
Palm Harbor, and basically, you go there. It's about an hour and a half procedure. Mm-hmm. They take your blood, they spin the blood, and they inject it into the area. And you're immobile for the first 24 hours, and then after that you can do moderate walking and everything. But before I got this done, I wasn't walking.
Wow. So you had immediate results then afterwards?
Oh, yes, immediate results, okay. And then I got 3 treatments. And then it's supposed to be completely, I'm supposed to regrow the cartilage in 2 mm-hmm. months. And
that's pretty fast. That's really amazing.
Yeah, and it's supposed to last like 2 years.
Mm-hmm. So what happens then after 2 years?
I don't know. You can go back and get more shots, I guess.
Okay. Well, hopefully the body will respond and start rebuilding that area.
Well, it's supposed to rebuild in 2 months.
Okay.
And I just, I was really pleased with it. I wanted to share it with everybody because I was so pleased with it that I just couldn't believe the results.
That's fantastic.
And not being, I was taking a leave every 4 hours and ice packs and not walking, and now I went out and walked 2 miles.
That is fantastic. So let me ask you, did they give you any exercises and regime to do afterwards? Or?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Okay, so you kind of have to do that on your own. And
I didn't. Well, basically, I always walked and I always exercised.
Okay.
And I used to do a lot of long distance biking.
Okay.
So I don't know whether the long distance biking, they did like 5,000 miles over a period of years.
Yeah.
I don't know if that agitated the hip or not. And I guess I had arthritis too.
Yeah.
And I changed diet so I would not eat anything that it was inflammation.
Right.
Inflammation. I basically am sticking to almonds instead of walnuts. Mm-hmm. I'm doing the shakes. So I try to eliminate a lot of the sugar that's in the fruit.
Right.
So I pick the fruits that don't have a lot of sugar.
Right. That's really wise, especially if you're making shakes. It's a good alternative, too, is going to vegetables.
Right. I do. I do.
Okay.
I put the spinach in there, and celery in there, and the low inflammation fruits and everything.
Sure.
But I thought I'd share this with you. And
I'm so glad you did. That's great news. And we're going to be speaking at the Nature's Food Patch in Clearwater on September 5th. So I hope you can join us, and maybe you can share that story there.
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to.
Okay.
It's a real nice. It's something that people don't know about.
Yeah.
And I said to him, "Why doesn't a hip doctor tell me about this?" And he said, "Well, what would you rather do? Make $10,000 on a hip replacement, or make a few pennies on transfusion?"
Yeah, that seems to be the general thing too. Is money plays a big role in what is available because of the profit. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'll send you the information and you can read about it. And then
would you do that?
Sure.
Just give me an email at Nico@TFNN.
Okay.
And I'll look at that and I'll bring it to. I'm sure Paige knows a little bit more about this than I do. I heard about it with athletes replacing blood and things like that.
Well,
so
Tiger Woods had it in his knee.
Oh, did he? Okay, yeah, that's what he was doing then. Okay.
Yeah, he had these injections in his knee, I think, or either knee or elbow. I'm not sure which it was.
Yeah, he had the knee. I know he had the knee problem 2 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah, and he had these injections. They don't do them. They do it. A lot of people from the UK will come into the States and have it done, but they do it over there quite expensively.
Okay. Okay, great.
It's a little cheaper here.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's one thing that's cheaper here, right?
Yeah, it is.
Thank you so much for calling, Joy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's great. There are great innovations that are happening all the time with our medical people, which is really good. But there's also lots of problems, and some of the problems is like Joy said. What would you rather have? The hip replacements, and a lot of people are going for that, and maybe not offered this because there's not as much profit in it, and so it's good to get this information out there. That is for sure. So let's see, where was I? I've got a lot of links in my newsletter from that Ancestry Foundation, and I just want to encourage you folks, start looking at some of these things. And I think if you're not already bought into this kind of primal type of mindset, that this may put you over the edge and say, hey, maybe this is a pretty good idea. So really encourage you to look at these videos, and that may lead you down the road to other things that will connect you with people who are doing similar things. And certainly we here at TFNN are all on board on living a primal lifestyle. And one of the things that really makes a primal lifestyle for me is thinking about a freedom. Because, it's a big conversation now with, for the past 2 weeks we've seen trials going on. I don't know why we have to have trials on every darn station in the nation when we have court TV, supposedly. And I think probably a more interesting trial would be that the bomber from the Boston Marathon, but we don't see anything like that. So I think they're hiding certain things and then giving us this kind of entertainment to show us what's happening with this whole gun issue, and then we don't have to talk about anything else. And that's just my personal opinion on it. And I think, that's enough said about that. Freedom to me really means, of course, going back again to the mindset when I was growing up, living in northern Canada, being free to run around as a kid, and going to school in a rather small school where we really relied on each other to learn, and the teacher was kind of just moderating. Now, I have I talked, about the Sudbury School, and this is not Sudbury, Canada. The Sudbury School was actually out of Maine, and then they moved to a place in Texas, and now pretty much all over. And, at the academy there, the students have complete responsibility for their own education, and the school is run by what they call a direct democracy, in which the students and staff are really equals. The students are going to go after what they're really passionate in. And I think that's a really important part of what living a primal lifestyle is, because we want to be passionate about what we do. And when we're passionate about what we do, then we start excelling, and we start seeking, we start investigating. So, this is what the really conversation is really going to be about for the next part of the hour, is about our personal freedoms and what's being taken away by all the different things what society has put on us. So I want you to think about that while we're going on a break here, and think about what freedom really means to you. And if you want to call in, the number here is 877-927-6648, and we'll take your questions then. So I'll be back in a few minutes, and in the meantime, you can go to the site and look up Health Signals newsletter, and please take a look at it and get a copy for yourself. I'll be right back.
You've heard Nico DeHaan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nowhere, spelled N-O-W-H-E-R-E. At one point, we've all been there. Whether it be our health, career, or our finances, some might be there right now. So where are you when it comes to your trading and investing? Better yet, where would you like to be? The good news, I can take you from nowhere to now here right now. Same letters, N-O-W-H-E-R-E, just a totally different emphasis and focus. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN, and on July 25th at 6:30 p.m., I'm going to share with you a trading strategy that I began on May 10th when the S&P was at 1627 and closed at the same price 8 weeks later. That's right, the S&P went nowhere versus a trading strategy that produced a 100% hypothetical return in that same period of time, and it's now here for you. Subscribers to my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability, have free access to this exciting live workshop. The trend is your friend. All the details are on the homepage of TFNN.com. Decisions shape your destiny, and your trading destiny is now here for you.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
It's Nico here on Living Primal Lifestyle, and we're talking about freedom. You know, one of the things that I remember in going to those schools is that they're not trying to make every single child into this cookie-cutter mentality. And that's really what's happening in our education system. Everybody, is given the same test. Everybody's reading the same material. And everybody, in some schools they have uniforms where they dress the same. There's a lot of things going on that we in the past that we had, like the recesses and breaks and a lot of activity, physical activity as well as mental activity, and that's being diminished in our public schools and a lot of private schools too. So that's what gave me real insight to looking at this Sudbury school. And the schools are really based on, number one, the educational belief that children are extremely good at and therefore don't need to be taught the main behaviors needed by adults, such as creativity, imagination, alertness, curiosity, thoughtfulness, responsibility, and judgments. What children lack is experience, which can be gained if adults simply get out of the way. The socio-political belief that having a full democratic rights in childhood is the best way to become an adult who is comfortable functioning within a democracy. makes a lot of sense to me. You know, the fundamental premises of the school are simple, that all people are curious by nature, that the most effective, long-lasting, and profound learning takes place when started and pursued by the learner, that all people are created if they are allowed to develop their unique talents, that age mixing among students promotes growth in all members of the group, and that freedom is essentially to the development of personal responsibility. All aspects of governing the schools are determined by weekly meetings modeled after the traditional New England town meetings. So the meetings are really run by the students and the staff. The staff is there really to kind of complement and steer them in the right direction. But imagine going at 4 years old, going into a class that's all children, and now you're open and you start looking at what interests you, and then all of a sudden you find something that interests you. And you know, when you're really interested and you have a passion for learning that one something, you'll do anything you need to do that. But if you're stuck in a room and the teacher says, well, we're going to learn this today, and you're not interested in that, you would do like any normal child would do. That's what I did in the 9th grade. I remember when I started high school in Canada, you know, half the stuff I wasn't interested in, and, you know, so far I got the C's on those classes. The ones I was interested in, boy, I popped those A's out like magic without even thinking about it, hardly studying at all, because the studying was done just immediately in the class. I was passionate about it, talked to teachers about it, talked to other students about it, and I was excited about it. But the stuff that I wasn't interested in, I would just I would sleep, act up in class, and this is where it goes, you know. And then you get restricted in your passion. You become rebellious, and I certainly was one of those rebellious youths, and I guess I still am, and I think that's probably a good thing. So I was deeply interested in the schools, and I think this is one of the ways. And there's over 30 of them now across the United States, and I'll tell you, their graduation rate is 100%, pretty much, and also, the people who get into these really great schools like MIT or Harvard and stuff like that are a real high percentage, much higher than any other school in the nation, of people going to these higher education and pursuing the passion that they have for the subjects that they were learning in. So I think that's really one aspect where freedom in schools can come about, by exploring this and not getting a cooker-cutter mentality where each student has to, take the same test and do the same things. And here we are in our society having these jobs out there that these students have to pick that, when you get out of school, you may not have a passion for it. Luckily, there are a lot of people who do have a passion for things, and they find it early. You know, I'll tell you a little story. I have a friend of mine that is a rock star now, pretty much. She's 16 years old, and I remember her starting to play guitar at 10 years old, and I'm good friends with her grandparents, and I know her parents pretty well, and her name is Caroline Cole. And just look up Caroline Cole, and you'll find on YouTube, and you'll find some information about her. And she's an up-and-coming star, and writes these amazing songs that if you're 6 years old or 60 years old, you can relate to, and only because she had the passion. You know what her dad said when she says, I want to play guitar? She says, when I was your age, I wanted to do the same thing. And he says, I was going to put all your money into education, and he's a doctor, so he has money. He says, I put it in that for you, because that's where your passion is. Unbelievable. It gives me chills just to think about it. So look up Caroline Cole, and if she ever comes to this area, I'm going to try to get her on, because she's an inspiration just because of the passion she has, and she's enjoying life at age of 16 that many of us might never have had that much passion as she has. So phone number 877-927-6648. I'll be right back.
With over 3 decades of commodity trading experience, Andy Hecht has developed a system that combines both technicals and fundamentals. He calls this approach Technomental, and now you can put it to work for yourself with his brand new service, the Technomental Commodity Report. In this weekly newsletter, which comes out each Thursday morning, Andy gives you his analysis of the market price direction bias using fundamentals, and then specific trade recommendations including entry and exit points using technicals. The recommendations in the newsletter are always based on stocks and ETFs, so a futures account is not required, and Andy will often use options in the recommendations as well. Andy will tell you where to get in, where to get out, and he'll outline the risk-reward profile for all recommendations. To get your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht while locking in the low introductory rate, visit the front page of TFNN.com today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico on Living a Primal Lifestyle, and we're talking really about freedom. And I ran across this article. It's called Create Your Own Freedom or Design Your Own Cage from Primal Docs. And what he's talking about is that there's no greater freedom than the ability to create an organic thought, pursue a unique desire, and live like no one else. However, if you're observant at all, you probably have noticed that most of us in fashion look alike. We act and talk like everybody else. Not only that, but most of us design an existence where one day is nearly indistinguishable from the last. And that's so true. That's, if you look around, everybody's the same, and we actually ridicule people when they look a little bit different. You know, if you're in a prep school and you got a lot of tattoos, you're going to, you got a lot of piercings, people are going to go after you. And that's just a natural thing. If you're different than somebody else, somebody's going to look at you differently, and then they're going to make a decision based on that. Certainly the Zimmerman trial was, all over that particular part. But, that's where our society is. Instead of looking at an individual and saying, boy, this is unique, how great is this? So, we are all different. We don't create anymore. We emulate. Most of us design our lives to be a status quo, or develop a popular skill, or use skill to make money, use that money to buy popular things. Then we go to bed, a dream, and make a wish about what other people have that we don't have. So, that's really what our society is based on. But there's more to it than that, too, because there's a lot of restrictions. If I go to, let me see, I saw an article here that really stood out. It was about... this is Say Goodbye to Farmers Markets, CSAs, and Roadside Stands. This is about the U.S. Food Safety Bill. It's under consideration. It was really written by Monsanto, Cargill, Tyson, and ADM. And all of them are associated with the opposite, really, of food safety and organic food, and a rebirth of the farming as it used to be. They're all really, these companies are all in the big farm business. They're in the big chemical business. They're in the GMO business. And they're really wanting us to eat everything the same. It may not look the same if you go down the cereal thing. Boy, do we have choices, don't we? It's all the same stuff. It's just packaged different. There's not a cereal. I mean, it might be oats, it might be wheat, it might be rice, it might be flakes of corn or something like that. But certainly it's pretty much the same product, filled with the same crap that they're pushing at the fast food joints to keep the stuff on the shelf. We have no choice in foods unless you really dig. Certainly that's, what I do when I'm talking about food. You really need to dig to get top quality food, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be allowed. Pretty soon, like I said, these farmers markets and things that we're used to going to are being outlawed as we speak. So, and it's really because of what they call the food safety. Everybody's concerned about safety of one form or another, and all it's really doing is add more accumulation of law and restrictions on us, who they're supposed to be protecting. Whether we're going on a trip abroad and all of a sudden we have to go through these stupid scanners and people are searching our stuff, you're being stopped, you're being told what to do, where to go. You're being restricted in the food that you eat. If you go to a regular supermarket, the restaurants are pretty much getting all the same stuff. You have a few choices here and there, but pretty much you're getting the same stuff. And butcher shops are getting less and less. And there's less and less of them out there. It's getting difficult to find. So that's one aspect of looking at it. Let me see what else I've got here. There was something else. Here's another restriction. Okay, Monsanto soybean oil could replace fatty fish acids. So what they're saying really is, what's happening is, fish oil has been promoted as something really, really good, the omega-3s. Of course, we know that omega-3s are very necessary, especially from animals. And that's what's really good for us. We have discovered through our research and through the testing that animal fats are the things that we really need. So what they're going to do is replace it with soybean oils. And soybean oils, they do have omega-3s, and you can extract them out. But it's a different oil. It's omega-3, but it has to be taken through a whole different step and processed by the body completely different. So, in other words, your body has to do a lot more work getting those plant omega-3s to do the same thing, and they won't do the same thing as the animal omega-3s. So if you want good omega-3s, you really need to get them from either grass-fed beef what you're eating, or if you want a supplement, you need to get it from cold water fish, not from flax seeds, certainly not from soybean oils, and not from any of the other oils. Yes, it's in the plants, but it's not the same thing. So you really have to understand what they're trying to do. They're not trying to do it because, in here it says, we don't have enough fish in the world now to feed everybody. So we're not going to take the omega-3s, most prevalent in the fish. We're going to substitute with the plants. And we've proved over and over again with lots and lots of different experimentations and clinical trials that they're this is cheap stuff. It's, the first, let me go through a little history. This is, they were really losing market shares in their vegetable oils and things because people are kind of waking up. So in the 19th and 20s, doctors began to realize that the animal fats most Americans used in cooking were labeled as unhealthy fats because of the Ansel Keys thing. You know, they had said saturated fats and unsaturated fats are really not good for us, especially the saturated fats from animals. So they started that. So plants began entering the marketplace. A real boom. The first used in cooking oil was cottonseed oil. It was a cheap byproduct of the fiber that was used in the soybean processing and compositions. So the soybean oils, the cottonseed oils, and all these types of vegetable oils. If they say vegetable oils, by the way, it's not really a vegetable. It's a bean. And bean is not a vegetable. It's usually soybean. They have peanut oil. Of course, they have the corn oil. And those things were really used for industry. It was a cheap way to lubricate things. And it's a cheap way to feed people, too. And these are really trans fats. And we already know how bad the trans fats are for us. So it was cheap. It was really easy to get. Back in 2004, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said that manufacturers had to begin labeling unhealthy trans fats, and those created into making hydrogenesis process. That's where they put hydrogen in it to make the soybean oil more shelf stable. Soybean oil takes a lot. It took a bit of a nosedive, falling by 60% of all of the edible oils, starting in about 2004. So people started getting aware that these oils are trans fat, not using them anymore. So between 2006 and 2012, imports of palm oil quadrupled, and then canola oil quadrupled. Now remember, the palm oil used to be vilified. But then the new test came out and they said that palm oil and coconut oil was really good for you. Unfortunately, canola came in there too, and they said this was the new health food. So you can see how that came about. A reformulation happened. It was much easier to reformulate this stuff and use it also as biodiesel. So that started eating into the profits because it was cheaper to sell it that way. So that came into the profit. So really what's happened is the down-drumming of these vegetable oils and using it as biofuel put their prices down. So now they can say, okay, let's put it into our foods again. So oils contain 3 types of fatty acids, saturated fats, which are stable but considered unhealthy. Of course, we know they're not unhealthy. And we're always fighting this stupid battle of is it healthy, isn't it healthy? And if you meet people on the street and you ask them if saturated fat is good for you, the general consensus is that it's not. But folks, we know it is. Okay. Same with the PUFAs, the omega-3s, omega-9s, and omega-6s. Those are good for us in the right ratio, and they are good for us from animals but not from plants. So that's really what this whole thing is about. So they've taken away our freedom because we're not allowed to use lard anymore, are we? I mean, it's hard to find. You really have to dig to find some good lard. And if you want some good French fries, boy, you better get some lard, because that's where it's good. If you want to fry a turkey or some good fried chicken, all you have to do is throw the chicken in the pan and put some coconut oil in there or some lard in there, or mix it up, even butter, and you have the greatest fried chicken there is. And it's good for you, too. So to me, that's the way to go. The other thing was, there was one more in here about... I can't seem to find it. Okay. Well, really, what does freedom mean to you? It means to me a lot of other things besides this, but this kind of just... I just thought about this all week, and I said, I really got to talk about this and get off my chest. I don't really want to drop out of society, per se. Sometimes it seems like that's the only way to do it. The first thing they started taking away from us was really the ability to move around the land, and that was done by creating these mundane jobs that people had to have just to survive. I think probably if we were brought up 10,000 years ago, all we had to do was really look for food and learn how to communicate with people in our immediate circle, and that was life, and it was pretty easy. So maybe 2 or 3 hours a day you had to do some hard work, and the rest of the time you could play and discover and learn. And I just think society would have been a lot better off if we took that route. But along came agriculture, locking up the food, and somebody kind of locking it up and saying, this is mine, it's not yours, but you can have some of it if you do this for me. And that's why, the whole society started, and the religious started, the politics started, and, they're both pretty much the same thing. A lot of powerful people up there, not too many, but a few, and then there's all the slaves down here. And that's what we've really become. We've become slaves from the time we're born until does it ever really leave? I mean, it doesn't seem like we've gained that much. We're supposed to be in a free country, and, I do love America. I love living here, and we're lucky to live in a country like this because we still have a lot of freedoms, but they seem to be taken away on almost a daily basis. We can be droned if necessary. If somebody has an inkling to get rid of you, they'll find an excuse, I think. Luckily, I'm not that powerful that they want to get rid of me. But, I still have that feeling if, they trap us into watching these mundane programs on TV that are pretty much all the same. There's not a lot of education there. I have to really dig into YouTube and start finding out some real interesting things that I have a passion for. I won't usually find it on the tube, on regular cable. And seriously thinking about when my contract runs out with my cable company, that I'm going to cut the cord and just go for Wi-Fi. I'm just hoping that we don't get restricted in the Internet. And the Internet is a wonderful thing. A lot of crap on there, but there's a lot of good stuff on there, and you just have to weed through. I think I'm smart enough to be able to do that. I think you're smart enough to be able to do that. So, I don't need somebody telling me what I need to read and what I don't need to read. I don't need to have advertising spun many different ways. It's all brainwashing to me, and I don't need to be told over and over again what car I should be driving, what road I should be going down on, what I should be happy about, what I should be for or against, and people calling me at all hours of the day and night on my phone trying to sell me things. I'm on a do not call list, and I get more calls than ever. I don't know about you, but it's just a ridiculous thing. And my question is, how do we actually turn this thing around? It's a real puzzle here. It seems like we're getting trapped without dropping out. I know dropping out is one way to go. And I'll tell you, it takes a lot of guts, and I applaud the people that have dropped out. And I think they're the heroes of our society. The other heroes might be the ones demonstrating. I've really never got into the demonstrating part, because then I think I'm just part of another sheep herd somewhere along the line. So that's just not my thing. My thing would be, I'd be more reluctant to go into that than dropping out, probably, because I know I can survive. It's just, do I want to survive that way? I don't know. So, because then you have no support. It's not like you can go to find a commune with 150 people in it and say, hey, why don't you bring me in and we'll live the life, the La Vida, or whatever it is. So, but that's just my thoughts on it. So, I'm digging into this. I've actually changed my thoughts on how my book is coming about, and I've really wanted to make it more my story. I felt kind of uncomfortable with being an authority figure saying, hey, this is how you live a primal lifestyle. I'm skewing it more to here's my journey, and you make your own choices, and here's just one journey for you. And I think you need to look at a few different people and say, what are they doing? And, how come they're successful at this thing called health and vitality and living and looking good and doing the things that you want to do when you get in your 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, and hopefully on from there. So something to think about, folks. Think about your personal freedom, not being locked in to these mundane jobs. Try to create for yourself many different avenues of, unfortunately, we have to have income. So, to me, it doesn't matter really how much money I make. It matters more that I can maintain what I have and do the things I love. And that's kind of what freedom means to me. So hope you stick around. I've got another segment left. The number here is 877-927-6648. And please support the show by picking up the Health Signals newsletter. Remember, Paige is going to be back next week. We're going to ask her about her new studies. So that should be interesting, too. So I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And Now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. It's Nico on Living a Primal Lifestyle. Number here is 877-927-6648. Freedom has to do with being out in the sun. And here in Florida, we got plenty of sunshine. And unfortunately, we've got this big phobia about skin cancers and, the sun doing all kinds of damage to us. We have this global warming thing going on, all big scams. And basically what they're trying to sell us with this sun damage is, of course, going to specialists to get the sun, the cancer removed removed, which is an important thing to do. It may not be caused, however, by the sun itself. Basically, you know, we've been using a lot of products on our skin. Most of them are what again, the vegetable oils that we talked about in cooking too. These are altered fats that are not found in nature's, and they're really throughout our fast food industry. They're in baking goods, chips, salad dressings, cereals, margarines, fast fried foods, and all kinds of restaurant foods. In addition to collecting in the liver and other organs, they poison the skin cells, and this is what's really helping us to come up with these skin cancers. So you really need to look at it from a different way. And our modern skin products are really causing a lot of problems. So if you have light skin and want to be outside, kind of the question is, what do you do? And the first line of defense is kind of shading yourself with some hats, some clothings, and limiting the exposure that you have to the sun. Usually 20 or 30 minutes is plenty for most people, even in the summertime. Here are some facts about sunscreens, and I'll just read these off. Sunscreens prevent sunburn, but beyond that, surprisingly little is known about the safety or efficiency of them. They do not protect against any radiation damage. There's no consensus on whether sunscreen actually prevent cancer. The FDA, in 2007, the FDA is not aware of any data demonstrating that sunscreen use alone can help prevent cancer. There is some evidence that sunscreen may actually increase the risk of melanoma, the deadliest form of sunscreen. And that's because of we stay in the sun's radiation longer, or the free radicals that are released with the sunscreen chemicals break down in sunlight, and they play a role in poisoning your skin. Sunscreens also block vitamin D, one of the most important vitamins that we need. Tropical vitamin A reacts to sunlight and forms compounds that may increase development of skin cancer. 40% of all sunscreens have a platelet in them that should not be used on your skin. Both UV radiation and many common sunscreen ingredients generate free radicals and damage DNA and skin cells. They accelerate aging and may in itself cause skin cancer. If used too little or apply too infrequently, it may cause more damage. Tanning beds are prime offenders as they are focusing the ion radiation. So you have three choices. First, take the sun when the sun is not directly overhead. Add a hat, light clothing, shoes, and some shade. If you are to get direct sunlight, cover as much as you can and choose your sunscreens very carefully. A lot of good products out there that you can use. And if you want to block the sun completely, certainly you have the white stuff that you can put, the oxidation stuff that we used as kids, the zinc or titanium blockers. Those seem to be the best on your skin, and they really do protect and don't do a lot of damage. So, think about this. We live in Florida. We got a lot of sunlight, but I know the whole country is heating up like a bulb. We're going to have, I think, a better week next week as far as the heat is concerned. But it certainly is a gorgeous, gorgeous Friday here. We're only about 84, 85 degrees here in downtown Clearwater, folks. So, Florida is the place to live right now when the rest of the country is seeing really sky-high temperatures. So, come down and visit us. And keep listening to Living a Primal Lifestyle. Paige will be back next week. That's the show for the way. And enjoy your life and get some freedom, and think about how you can be more free in how you choose to spend your time, your money, and who you're spending it with and what you're eating. See you next week, folks. Thanks a lot for sticking around.
Nowhere, spelled N-O-W-H-E-R-E. At one point, we've all been there. Whether it be our health, career, or our finances, some might be there right now. So where are you when it comes to your trading and investing? Better yet, where would you like to be? The good news, I can take you from nowhere to now here right now. Same letters, N-O-W-H-E-R-E, just a totally different emphasis and focus. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN, and on July 25th at 6:30 p.m., I'm going to share with you a trading strategy that I began on May 10th when the S&P was at 1627 and closed at the same price 8 weeks later. That's right, the S&P went nowhere versus a trading strategy that produced a 100% hypothetical return at that same long period of time, and it's now here for you. Subscribers to my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability, have free access to this exciting live workshop. The trend is your friend. All the details are on the homepage of TFNN.com. Decisions shape your destiny, and your trading destiny is now here for you.